Previously on CSI Waterdeep. Anyways, I'm gonna go around just real quick on my screen. Let's see. Center top. That's Cliff, Forbold Cleric. Uh, in keypad 3, we've got Connor, the Elf Ranger Rogue Gloomstalker metagaming, 30-year DM, bane of my existence. In keypad 4 there, we have Foz Grunlin, a general, a dwarf fighter, uh, a fighter purist who's a little bit frozen right now. And we'll get to that. And then in the middle screen, and let's see, what's that? Keypad 5, we have Henry, our cleric of Tyr, who is going to go southern. He's a southern tierist, right? We're going to kind of switch. We're going to disassociate personality a little bit. We're going to see how this goes, and then we'll might change it later. But southern tierist, and then we have Lantoris, our war forged robot type. I'm still learning it. He's an artificer. Keypad 6. 7 in the bottom left, we've got Manu, our turtle slash barbarian slash warlock. Oop, and he just bounced to the other screen. And then we've got don't worry about it. Foz, you can come up when you're up. And then Mags Zesis is our paladin slash Hell Rider. And we'll get Foz up and running. It's the standard 10 o'clock shenanigans that everybody kind of hits. And then we'll get through this. So what we'll do, I'll hit the intro real quick. Make sure I wrote it out. So just bear with me as I read from the teleprompter. Something San Diego. The majority of the party is consolidating into the village of Phandalin, gathering the townsfolk from the safety of Wave Echo Cave. There's some scrambling of some Hell Riders and some purple Dragon Knights that were in the area that helped escort the party to Phandalin. An ancient red dragon has been defeated in its lair within the elemental plane of Earth. A massive horde was uncovered at the end of it, bolstering your waning confidence. There was about 3 to 4 sessions of battle. Some of you died fighting in the Elder Brain and Monster Emmanuel the Beholder, and you finally got to the end of the fight, rescuing the people of Phandalin against the Ancient Red Dragon, and got some pretty cool toys that we'll go over today. Time is running out. You know that the armies of the Lord's Alliance and of the Sword Coast are assembling for a battle that's probably less than a month away in the Well of Dragons to face Tiamat and her impending ritual. Epione and Henry have recently discovered that their kinship extends a little bit past just that, and they may or may not be brother and sister, but there hasn't been a lot of time for you guys to consolidate and reflect on this. We begin today with Manu, stricken and outstretched, black and yellow magic and smoke emanating, his veins engorged and dark as yellow, and this yellow eye burrows into his left eye socket. Passacor had delivered the artifact for picking the correct portal. They kind of aided you guys. If you went into the wrong portal, we'd still be probably battling right now. But Paxcore made a good deal with Manu, and you guys will begin the session where we left off with Manu. There was this Paxicor, Manu and Asa and Foz kind of trailing closely behind. Manu is going back up to grab Daryl and Daisy, I think, from the top of the hill. Daryl and Daisy being his ox. They walk up to the top of the hill. Paxicor and Mahadi being in his human form, kind of in trail with Paxicor. Paxicor reaches out his hand, and there's like this cloth, small, like covering up would be this kind of like bloody eye. He opens it up in front of you and hands it to you, and he tells you that you have to accept this eye. You grab it and you instantly you accept the deal, and it almost like flies out of your hand once it gets your face. Its tendrils and like digs in, and your Manu is shocked by this, and you feel like this intense wave of strength come over you, as you go Super Saiyan or whatever, and then it lifts you off the ground. You kind of land. You're a little bit, you feel kind of exhausted by the surge of power going through your body and kind of the change they're in. We're gonna take like 2 seconds and see if Foz is he back up and running, or is he still a bit froze? Can you hear us, buddy?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay. So it's just like the camera, but the camera will catch up. We got you, buddy.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So as you were moving up the hill, Foz, you're behind him, probably like coming up the trail. You see Asa standing off to the side. You see her kind of like jump away as Foz like grasps at his head, lifts off the ground with this like emanating black aura around him. But you see, the very stylish merchant that is Paxicor, as we all, in our party, he likens to kind of like the Gavin Rosdale kind of scene, and and Mahadi off to the side. So Faz, you were walking up as you saw that, and Manu, you kind of we'll kind of pass it off to here, or pass it off to you as Paxicor looks at you. Always have my first few lines now kind of written out so I can kind of get the jump off going. He looks at you and he kind of looks past. Oh, he's gone. Right on cue. Darn it. We'll get it together one of these days.
He's put in the other channel that he's just swapping units. Just
okay. We'll start 35 minutes early next time. No, it happens. Everybody was just like goes to the app store at the same time and download 25. So let's so Pax is kind of talking to you. We'll go back and so for the rest of the party, let's do this. So the rest of the party, Henry, and do we lose Henry as well? Where is he? There he is. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. So Henry and Cliff, you kind of consolidating a couple wounded people in the Church of Timora that's inside Falenden. You're getting everybody kind of set up. You notice people are kind of streaming back out of the Wave Echo Cave. The overcast sky where the embers and the ash are kind of dripping down from the regional effects of an ancient red dragon, that's kind of dissipating. Zesis, you also planar shift out of the elemental plane of Earth with Lantoris as well, and you guys are kind of in the town center. People are putting out some fires and rescuing animals and the cats that ran up a tree and things like that inside the town. It's not as bad off as you'd expect. Like I said, that one stable earlier on that people were staying in, that the Hell Riders were staying in, that burnt to the ground, and another small house that was closer to the Stronghold that also caught enough fire where that was burnt, but most of the people in the town are just doing the bucket passing, bucket chucking kind of thing. So that's kind of the scene of Falenden. It's calming itself down. There's a couple bodies of some fire giants laying there. There's no, obviously no bodies of the fire elementals or anything like that. Goose, radio check over. Pause.
Loading in.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. That was perfect timing.
No, it's fine. So Connor, same thing. You came out of that Earth elemental plane as well. You're in the town, you know, doing whatever you do, counting your bolts and crossbows and stuff, and collecting yourself and moving to wherever. So Faz and Manu. So Faz, as you watched this happen to Manu, right? Asa kind of steps off to the side. You see Paxicor and Mahadi in front of Manu. You watch them pass off this object to Manu. He puts it in his eye, and bam, he kind of goes crazy. As you're walking a little bit closer because you're kind of curious of what's going on. You're not a fan of Paxicor. There's no doubt of that. You hear Paxicor, and his eloquent as he always is. He's just like he kind of looks over to you, and he nods to you, fully well knowing that you're probably not going to nod back because you know that he's deep down a pit fiend. He's like, I'm sorry, friends. In the long run, you may not be so. And he looks at you, Goose or Foz. Might not be so disagreeable with me. In the future, I may be the closest thing to goodness. I consider it business and good business. And he looks over at Manu and he's like, this thing's going to come with a lot of gifts. Not all the best gifts. She'll soon figure it out. But in the end, it'll work out for both of us. And he's like, I really must be getting back. Despite the fact that I really don't care about the outcome. Good luck. And he kind of like looks at you as if, is there any last questions before he starts to bamf out? And he kind of looks over his shoulder at Mahadi. Mahadi's about to speak. Oh, nice. He's like, there's really no need to that. We're more or less partners. But he's being very humble about it. As Mahadi kind of looks at you like, yeah, that's a good approach. Mahadi looks at you, Foz, and we're just gonna kind of transition things. You're the one. He looks kind of at Asa, and we'll say that you picked up a flask, an empty iron flask. Okay. Mahadi is like, due to the recent, how did I say this? Yeah. So he sees you walking up. It kind of gets the impression that you might be, he's tracking that the dwarf that's not a fan of, what they really are. He's like, as an act of good faith, the contract kind of pops open and it just burns in his hands. And he's like, the flask is yours. And they both kind of step back. And Mahadi is like, do you have anything for us? Then we'll see you on the other side. And they both kind of...
As far as...
So you see Manu looks almost completely different. Where he had kind of the sense of the... Like he was kind of like white and frosty from his white dragon kind of change. It's now dark, black, reddish. His scar in his eye is got like almost like a seam as if it was like reddish lava kind of inside there. And this eye is not acting like the other eye. It's kind of doing its own thing in there. But as he turns around, you see it looks like a yellow eye with a black, like a slit, like a cat.
Yeah, I'm
walking up to Pathicor and I'll just look him in the eye and say, I appreciate that you brought Manu back to life. I don't appreciate what you've changed him into.
He
Want him back.
nods. He nods. Maybe you will understand. And there's like, he kind of moves his hand and steps back into like a black like cloud, right? They just kind of like, and they both just kind of disappear. You can eventually hear, a bird chirping, and then it's kind of back to reality where you're on, you're only about a half a mile up the hill from where you're at. You look down, you see big depressions in the ground where, a fire giant had walked into the village, something that you wouldn't have, that would be amazing 2 years ago. But you kind of look down now and there's like a little smoldering footprint of a fire giant, like, oh, cool. And then kind of you hear, a pretty decent commotion coming from the village of people kind of gathering around and getting their life back together. Over to you guys. So everybody else, you're down in the village. Faz and Manu are kind of up the hill.
Yep.
He sounds like Manu. Everything. You just obviously he's gone through a little bit of a dark transition. Hey, he's not dead. You know what I mean? Like that's
just it. I mean, like Paz is kind of torn. He's like, I mean, the alternative was honestly, it wasn't just gonna be Manu that was dead. I was gonna be dead as well.
yeah.
And
Yeah, that's what kind of gets weird. So you're kind of transitioning as you're reaching, level 14 or whatever. There's lawful good. There's a lot of things. You're now in such a, how to describe it. There's you're John Wick at 10. You're an Avenger at 15, right? So now you get that you might have some weird relationships out there. What? Oh yeah, he's got a curly mustache too.
I'll grab my mustache down here by my shoulders and say, yeah, you got a little ways to go.
And just for a second, I want to be like, it feels good to be playing D&D right now. I keep forgetting that, like, I want to play D&D for like 6 or 7 days, and I'm like planning and planning and planning, and just for a moment I want to be like, yes, just for hang on, we're playing D&D. Yes, yay. Okay.
It's gonna be all right.
Okay. So Belgar, just so you guys know, Belgar's like, are we gonna rest here? Let's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting short on spells and stuff like that. You guys want to take it to the Stronghold, wherever, do you want to stay together? Yeah, you guys can walk back down. Everybody's basically, remember where I had that well in the center of the old village? You guys are kind of there, next to Toblin's bar, which is we'll call it the dog and hoof. I don't know, the pony. And what's a good British pub name? Connor, that's just down your street. The Duke and Crutch. Yeah.
The King's Arms, the Queen's Head, the Plough,
Yeah.
the Red Lion.
The Plough, the Queen is down the street. Yeah. Just
No, stop it, guys. Look.
What? It's the name of the bar. I didn't name it. It's Faerun. So, yep, you get downtown, Phandalin, which, as I would describe for anybody that has been, It's not the Phandalin of yore. The town is built up. The Zentarum has pumped a lot of money into it, and the Wave Echo Cave has made it prosper quite a bit.
All praises Entrum.
Yeah, you guys are all getting the like. What have this has been like almost 48 hours of a battle, right? Almost 72 to 40, 72 to 48. It's been a while of like nonstop Wave Echo Caves. You guys have fought an Elder Brain, a Beholder, tons of Mind Flayers. Foz has just had a go of it. Like Foz for the first half of it had a go, and then he got really vindicated. Sunsword. There's you get in there, it starts out kind of somber music as there's a guy in the bar kind of taking advantage of the moment. He starts playing. He's got a little tin out in front. There's a small stage in the Plow and Queen in Phandalin. Toblin's wiping the table down, and his wife is kind of scurrying around as well, getting things up, like setting chairs back up. They're setting stuff outside. They're getting food ready. People are coming together. Not a lot of things have been ruined. The dragon showed up, and it was only like 4 or 5 hours of kind of scary stuff. So they're kind of putting the festival back together. You'll notice that the refugee camp is a little bit depleted right now. The red tent is gone.
Tim, can I
Sure.
I want to get up to the bard in a stealthy way.
Okay.
And I want to whisper in his ear and tell him to play some jovial music, holiday music, festival music, and I'll put 50 gold in his tin.
What? He just starts like jamming away on his the little lute looking thing, and he's got like the 3 pipe deal going on as well. And he starts jamming pretty good. Another guy kind of gets up. You notice that there's like 1 or 2 folks, halfling and 2 other humans, get up on the stage, and 50 gold. They really get after it.
The song
You
goes
notice
like,
that
dang, ding, ding, dang.
yeah, there's no bing dangs though, interestingly enough. Yeah,
I'm just saying this are potentially our last night here with drinks with friends. We might not all make it. Let's just enjoy it.
I could sort of hear it, Skylar. Yeah, it's coming in, but it comes in pulses. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the music is maybe that's what I hear. I hear the stream. So yeah, the music is going, and over the next like 10-20 minutes, people start coming back in, and for whatever cognitive dissonance, they kind of get back into the spirit of whatever. I think we started this thing and it was wintertime. 4 days ago was like 3 months ago. But anyways, it's still, now it's a spring fest. Interestingly enough, you look outside and it's springtime. So they're setting up those big long tables. They're putting up that big maypole looking thing in the center of town. And you hear somebody, we'll say, you remember Darren? Darren kind of walks up to you guys, and he comes in, and he finds Henry, and he's just like, "Hey, what of Sildar?"
I can't remember. Which one was Sildar?
The dude got eaten by the ancient red dragon.
Oh, dude. He didn't make
so
it.
Skildar, if you remember way back in Lost Mines and Fandalver, he was kind of the key NPC that gave you guys all your quests, and then you left him to be the mayor of the town.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
making a vineyard and stuff like
Okay.
that up there for you.
Yeah, and my best South Tyrian baptism, or sorry, South Tyrian, console the guy.
Okay.
He didn't make it.
All
He got
right.
like,
Freudian slip already. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, you do that. Dalen's, I think he's a retired paladin. He was a retired paladin, anyways. You know, so he gets the whole lay on hands thing. He's like, oh yeah, tight. South Tyrian, tight. And he kind of looks at you and he's like, I think I've been retired for too long, and he's aged, right? I think he was an elf too. He's kind of an aged old elf, which means like he's in the 300-400s, or and kind of looks at you guys and sits down, and you can tell that he's kind of like knocking the dust off, and he kind of implies to you that he's gonna go south. Like, this is gonna be his last hurrah. He wants to see Unthar Frume, I think that's his name, Frume, one last time, and he comes out with this kind of, it's not like a dusty shield, but it's like that, remember the Patriot, where he's got that trunk, opens it up and pulls out his hatchet and stuff, but he's having kind of like that moment where Sildar died, and he wants to pay it forward, and he implies to you all that I'm gonna get on my horse. I'm gonna take a couple people here with me. I'll probably mount up with the Hell Riders, one last time. And he looks over at Zesis and kind of gives you the, hey, I don't know how you guys are gonna bamf out of here. You're a big deal, but I'll get the Hell Riders and the rest of these Purple Dragon Knights, and I'll move them south as quickly as possible. And you guys are all. Is everybody consolidated in the Plowing Queen? Okay. All right. I gotta not forget that name. It's a good one. So you guys are there. Yeah, Darren's like, yeah, I've been keeping an eye on the Stronghold. You guys got rooms there. If you guys want to rest and recover, I can help heal a little bit. If you need that, or if you guys can take your rest after this, whatever you guys need. Belgar's sitting there thumbing through some books. He's got this book, and it's got like that tongue affixed to the front of it, and he's kind of going over things, and he's like, all right, I'll rest, and then I remember are we going back to Waterdeep? Is that the plan?
Yeah. We need to check. We need to make sure we check in with all our allies and make sure what we've got is what we've got, etc., etc.
Okay, he's like, I will build a portal tonight, get some rest. We'll wake up in the morning. I'm gonna put it in the Stronghold, and then we can. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll leave.
Perfect.
And he's just like, he takes Asa by the hand, and they hold hands and like head back to the Stronghold. Let's see, was it Davu? Was he with you? Davu Ironflank?
Davu.
Yeah.
I think is good in there as well.
No.
Yeah.
Gudin's back. Gudin's leading your forces.
Yep.
Right? He was left in charge, and then Friant.
Yep.
Is with the B team.
Yep.
As it were.
Correct.
All right. So, Davu comes in, like kind of let you know that he's going to take his Koenigsguard. They're going to depart as soon as you leave. So he'll stay with your current security, and then as soon as you depart, that group of the, your elite personal guards, they're all going to just boogie straight, and they're like, we'll meet you in El Terrell.
That's perfect.
He kind of looks at that thing from the Purple Dragon Knight, and he's like, all right, they said 30 days, carry the 2. It's been about 4 or 5 days. We're gonna, it's like 500 miles from Waterdeep to El Terrell, so they're gonna head straight for it.
Yeah. Move as quickly as your stout legs will take you. Your strength will be needed.
you see what's her name, Rain, the copper dragon. You know, she's kind of like healing a bit, and she's gonna heal and roll with those guys as well.
Excellent.
And this is kind of like a cut scene of everybody kind of moving around. I'm not trying to steal any guys' agency. I'm just kind of refreshing everything. And
No,
so
it's
I'll, I'll lay it out there. The town is still a town. Like there is still goods and stuff. There's not going to be high-end magic. You kind of get that idea, but components or anything like that are definitely here.
excellent. So, as far as Foz goes, I'm not really in need of a bunch of inventory items. But if anybody is out and about, of course, the potions are wonderful. If you see anything of any kind of interest when you guys are out and about, don't hesitate to grab it up. We have more than enough.
Tim, I wanted to ask.
One sec. Foz, hang on, Foz, finish your thought.
We've got more than enough funds to take care of anything that we might need. So just don't hesitate to buy up anything that you think could be helpful.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Cliff.
I don't think I can see or hear Foz right now. Hold on.
Discord.
There it goes. Yeah, no. Foz wasn't appearing on my screen at all.
Where?
That's a blessing.
I was a little confused. Everyone was just silent for a bit, and I was like, "What's going on here?"
So yeah, Foz is talking about like spare no expense, buy what we need to buy. Belgar and Ace are like, I'm gonna save that for Waterdeep.
Right.
Probably have, but remember Gilmore is there.
Yeah. There will definitely be opportunities for buying things in Waterdeep, but if you come across things that are going to be helpful, snag them up.
All right.
To be honest, Connor's going to check here because he's a little bit still on edge of what happened when he met that dragon. He's not used to feeling like that. He's not used to being the scaredy cat in the corner. And he's basically going to go to Gilmore and he's just basically going to be going around any of the vendors if there's a home remedy for anti-fear that is of this hair with this and do this. He's going to take it with him, and he's going to have it before he goes, because at this point he's a little bit shell-shocked that happened.
Yeah, Gilmore's like, he offers you more of like an empathetic, kind of statements more than like, I don't really have a scroll for that here, but do you know of anything that we can possibly find that may help us? I know there's spells out there.
About that, yeah, the Heroes Feast. We talked about doing that, but it's such a long casting time, we decided not to. So as long as we're somewhat prepared next time, we should be able to pull it off.
I'm just going from obviously military background for Connor. He wants a plan, then a backup plan, then a backup plan for the backup plan, just in case the shit hits the fan and something goes wrong. And he's just wondering if there's anything. He doesn't know if there is. And to be honest, he's just literally asking the merchants that he's familiar with.
You see him doing something like this. He's like, okay. He's like, there's a Glorious Goods. Just hang a left down 1st Division Street and hang a right on Patton. Right outside Waterdeep. Palace. There's a Glorious Goods there. He made the sending. You know what I mean? He's just like, I'm gonna see if we can't have something dug up.
That'd be good. Be really useful. Because to be honest, no pressure, but this is potentially the end of the world.
Oh, he's like, yeah, I get that. And he's like, and I'll meet you guys. I'll meet you back there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And he's like, he's like, this music is great, and everybody's kind of getting their party back on. It's more of like everybody's just coming out of shock, been a heck of a rugby game. People are kind of just, they're celebrating being alive right now. It's really kind of cool down the center of Phandalin, going straight into the Stronghold now, where the ancient red dragon blew the lava or blew the fire breath. It's now like paved, so it's kind of it's got a kind of a cool look to it, despite anything. And people are just making the best of it. Kids are kind of throwing rocks, and it's bouncing off, where the ground turned into a bit of molten stuff. They're making the best of it. Phandalin's a resourceful town. They've gone through quite a lot in the past couple of years, so they're okay. They've got some decent patrons.
So who else would be here? What about... Did our red friend leave?
Nope. She's there with you. Macath the Crimson. Is that what you're talking about? Yep. She's there. She's been kind of floating around you guys, like not, observing. She's got a inquisitive disposition, or she's not off-putting, but she's very analytical. She's not very social, so she's kind of just there. She's drinking tea from shellbucks while you guys are kind of talking, but she's there. Okay. All right. What was her name? Kayleen. I forget what her name was, but she goes off, and that's that thick espresso, right? Yeah. Okay. She comes back with about 10 minutes later, grabs you a bunch, and there's literally, you guys had that private area upstairs. You guys are sitting in a big round table in the center of this place. People are walking up to you guys and just kind of slapping you on the shoulder and just putting beers in front of you and stuff. And you guys are so welcomed, in this place. Every once in a while, Lantoris, I don't know if the robots even drink beer, but yours can. Anyway, so kind of hanging out there, just you throw the beer over your shoulder. Delicious. Some lady walks up and ties like a piece of Edelweiss kind of flour from this, that she picked from the Sword Mountain there. And, there you go. You got a little flour, that kind of thing that people are doing. They're just giving you little bottles and trinkets to remember them by, or something like that. Yeah. So you kind of got a little bit of an off. If there's anybody that's really not attractive to children right now out of the group, it's you're looking, you've got some rings around your eyes right now. I'm not saying you're fully exhausted, but of everybody, the beer is definitely going down really well for you.
Honor's had a few drinks, but then he's basically slinking into the corner and wants to basically ensure that no one tries to take advantage of his friends in the current state. Just in case, if you were that minded, you may want to infiltrate or do something against this team. I'm not letting.
Macath, actually, she asks if she can sit down with you. As you go to the outside, and she's been kind of awkwardly standing out. She's like, "Do you mind if I sit with you?" And she kind of casts something to make it a little bit there's a shadow over. It's kind of afternoon. It kind of puts a bit of a shadow in the area because she's not very personable herself. She kind of sits back and makes it a little dim. You've got that Strider kind of thing going on in the corner. I gotcha. She's sitting there. She's got a hood up covering her tiefling horns, and her eyes are white.
Well, can I beckon McCrath over to me to have a little chat?
Hey, can I have 3 minutes? I forgot to give Addie her medicine before she goes. I gotta give her some Mucinex before she starts this coughing fit. I'll be right back.
When he says medicine, he means a shot of whiskey.
Yeah, right.
Time to go to sleep.
And if one shot won't do it, two would.
No, I'm struggling with connectivity, so I'm not pushing it.
I mean,
I'm
I have it
listening
on
to it
mute,
now.
but I'm looking at the chat.
No, because that would involve me actually joining Twitch.
Anybody use Discord in the web browser? People keep like selectively disappearing. Like I can't see Henry right now.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me, Isaac?
Oh, I can.
Just can't
Just
see.
because earlier I couldn't see Foz and I couldn't hear him either.
I did switch between like 3 different units, so it might have had
guys.
some.
Squeezing back in. My bad.
Okay, so McCraft's come over to me. I'm going to chat with her.
Okay. Yep. She sits down, her hood's up, white eyes. The candle kind of dims in the corner, and she sets up that little shroud of darkness.
Yep. You know, I'll sort of say, you know what's happening tomorrow, don't you?
Ah. Are you guys are teleporting out?
Well, do you know that? You know what's happening the next few days then? You know what we're about to do.
Yeah, I've overheard that the armies are marching, and in about a couple weeks, I think you guys are gonna face the Queen of Dragons.
Yeah.
She takes a big deep breath, and you can tell that it's
Well,
yeah.
you know that we've been working on getting allies, getting friends, getting anyone and anything that can assist us in this, to be honest, apocalypse level threat that is coming to Furin. I'm sorry for my I won't mince my words. What's your arcane brotherhoods? What are you going to be doing? Are you sitting this out? Are you twiddling your thumbs and playing with your wands, or are you actually going to join the fight and help Furin?
It's like so. There are wizards who want to help. Hashan the Red is vehemently against it, and he's taken many of the wizards in Luskan, and they have recessed and are trying to wait it out, or maybe taking an observatory role in the coming days.
Well, you know that at this point, to be honest, if you're an observer, don't want to know. Get lost, leave. I really can't be asked with any of that
She's like,
anymore.
She's like, Connor, I represent Zelem the White.
So how many
Not
have
many.
we got? And how can we? Because to be honest, does he not understand that? Yes, he might be this wizardy type person that can make magic appear from his hands. Tiamat appears. Okay, two things. It's an obvious thing, really. It's if Tiamat doesn't appear and he's not helped, every single person in Furin, I will personally make sure that every single person in Furin knows that the Brotherhood are a bunch of twats that do not want to assist and help the people.
Yeah.
It's their choice. I'm talking straight here. I'm fed up with this. But if they join and he doesn't, something doesn't happen, at least they've played ball. At least they might have some friends. They might have some allies. People that may want to deal with them in the future.
There are some who feel the same way as you. And if you can imagine, some have not necessarily broke off, but all I can say is a very small handful are moving to Waterdeep in support. Me being
But-
one of them.
No, this isn't aimed at you. This is aimed at powers that be. I know you're not a call center operator. Before I have a go at you, I'm going to go at your boss. However, do they not have any understanding of what's happening? I thought these guys were supposed to be. Look, I'm a military man. I'm very very straightforward. Go there, kill things, make sure you stay alive. Perfect. These wizards, so-called wizards, are supposed to be the intellectual types, the thought thinkers. What are they thinking? What are they actually? If they can't comprehend what the common folk are going to be thinking of these people going forwards, it's going to set the Brotherhood back hundreds of years in terms of their ability to interact with the common folk. If that's what they want to do, as far as I'm concerned, I've had enough.
I understand.
We have contacts. We have organizations here. There's people in our party here that are all within high rankings of very, very much nearly every organization in this part of the world. They don't want to help them. They're not going to get much help for support from other people going forwards. If they don't want to help, send them a message. And to be honest, I'll even word it for you if you want. I've had enough.
Yeah, if anything, especially maybe if the words were written by King Melandrak or something,
Oh,
not to. She's like, not to say that you're not influential.
No,
but
I know about that. I'm quite happy. We can get the leaders of every single faction here to sign a treaty of alliance, and anyone that doesn't join it, to be honest, they're not worth the wet. They can go rot.
So she's like, I feel, despite Zelem the White's followers, which I am, she's like, I feel you're going to be very disappointed, as I am, that some people will not stand up. And despite their intelligence, are not making the wise decision or seeing through this. I'm not. Kashan the Red feels that
they're scared little men with.
Kashan the Red
robes
feels that if he loses wizards in the fight, even in victory, that there will be a power vacuum with wizards far to the east. Excuse me.
I can see where he's coming from, but he thinks that is it better to lose a few?
East.
Is it better to lose a few than for Tiamat to rise and destroy all of you? That is our two options at this point. There is no. We are in a battle. This is war. People are going to lose their lives. People in this very room may lose their lives. If they're not willing to even risk one or two wizards, what good are they to Farun?
She's like, I wish I had more to offer. We'll do what we can, but she's like, you must understand. I agree to the point.
You.
Yeah.
If I can get you a missive,
yeah.
Can you send it to your leader?
Like, absolutely. Anything would help. Of course, your king, right? Who it would weigh heavily if we could get King Melandrak to.
We'll get King Melandrak. We'll get the head of the Harpers. We'll get the head of the Zentrum. We'll get all of the various ones to sign this.
That would work. Kashan the Red is a very stubborn and holds a lot of influence right now. Zelem the White is almost considered a separatist from the Arcane Brotherhood. Zelem is taking, and she describes roughly 20 Arcane Brotherhood that want to do the right thing. So there's about, it's very, considering the large amount of what you imagine this battle to be, 20 is like, like you'd have to really care for that amount of
Oh no, it's
not a lot.
worth a shot. If they don't
Yeah.
want to join,
And
it's
she
just
gets
going to
mad.
hurt them. In the
She slams her fist. She's like, "Do you understand how many red wizards that have flocked towards the Well of Dragons? Like, we're completely outnumbered."
I totally get that. And why do you think we want more mages? These
It's
red
like-
wizards are on the other side. We need something to counter them. And at the moment, what is our arcane support apart from 20 of your? And this isn't aimed at you. 20 of very valuable arcane brotherhood when we could do with 200, 2,000.
Yes, she's she's sitting there and
It's like going to a
She's
fight with they've got
embarrassed.
400 archers and you've got 10.
yeah, and she kind of like raises her hands as Tobin goes by. She's like, "Can I get a shot? Something, just she doesn't drink. It's just like she's just.
I'm sorry.
You're a classic elf. You're crushing her, and she's just like, yep, yeah. She's like, I'm trying.
I get it. That drink's on me. I apologize. I just needed to get this off my chest.
Yeah. She's like, I'll be there, Connor. I'll be there for you.
Oh, I have no doubt, and we'll all be there for each other. But it just the short-sightedness of some people in Farun is just galling now.
Yeah. Well, I think they're falling on their politics. I think that, the last that I heard from Kashan the Red is the Duchy of Skyreach will do just fine. They've come this far. They'll do just fine. And I don't want to say otherwise, but we're coming to help regardless, because we care for the people that are going to be on the battlefield. We understand that you guys may or may not survive, but we care for, the rest of Faerun. There are some, druids in our rank as well that feel that there's going to be some imbalances. And she starts mentioning, what's his name, Dayland Winterhound. And just like, it's not just the loss of humanoid life will bring drastic imbalance to Faerun with the amount of soldiers moving south. She's like, the dragons.
You get that. Unfortunately, let's just say, supposedly greater men don't.
Yeah, she's trying to stay as apolitical as possible in case she's being scried on. She's like,
I've taken too much of your time. This is our last evening here.
Oh, she's great. She kind of opens up a conversation. She's really comfortable with you. She kind of sits back and wants to, she understands. She wants to come with you guys tomorrow to Faerun and be a representative for Zalem the White as he moves. He's planning on going to Waterdeep, and she can kind of chat it up, and she'll try to get Zalem the White there, who's the council that what I mean of the. I don't know if they're doing the Lord of the Rings thing. I'm not that deep in lore, whether it's the two blues, the white, Radagast the brown, but I know of Zalem the White and Kashan the Red. I don't go any deeper in fandom than that.
I will go off to the corner, send a message to my Zentrum contact.
Yep.
And explain what's going to happen.
Cap the Crimson, knowing? Or you want to stay, hang out?
Yeah, I've gone walked. I said, I need to pop outside for 5 minutes. I'll be back. So I go do that.
Okay, because she was like, oh, okay.
I know. I'll be back. I will be back. I just need to calm down a little bit, and I'll be a much better elf when I'm back. Promise.
Okay. Halia's there.
I'll go, Halia. We need the Brotherhood. They're not playing game at the moment, and I need a favor. We need. I'll explain what I'm after, and I'll explain it in a way that if we leave the Brotherhood out of this and they do not come and join us, and forever forbid, even if we win, they then come out as more powerful than potentially the Zentrum, because the Zentrum are in this, doing this with us, helping us out. We need to make sure that they join in so that everyone does their bit for us, and there is a level playing field back in front after we beat Tiamat. So we need the Brotherhood to join in just to make sure that there is not an imbalance with the Zentrum when we complete Tiamat. What we're getting is I'll write the missive up. We are going to get all the relevant people to sign this to say that if they do not join, we are cutting ties with them. They are on their own. We're not supporting them in the future. Can you take this with my reasoning to the leadership of the Zentrum?
She's like to Ryan to Nightshade. Yeah, she's like,
Yep.
She's like, yes, she's kind of a fumbling, stammering, but she's a business woman, and she's like, do you wanna,
I'm quite happy to do that, and I'm willing to do anything that is required. To
she's
make
like,
this happen.
So she, kind of does the thing with the wrist, the snake, the winged snake thing, and concocts something going, and off goes a message, and she's like, I'll let you know maybe in the morning if one of the Vipers responds to us.
You know how to get hold of me, and I appreciate it. And I go back and I spend the evening with Macath. Not like that. Chatting.
Yeah, I didn't say anything.
I saw your face.
So Macath is, she's waiting. You come back in, and she got comfortable with you, so you can tell that she wants a buddy, in there. She's tiefling, and
I'll take a drink. I'll take a drink to her and say cheers.
So she's kind of hanging out. Anybody else want to do anything for Lantoris? You got just doing robot stuff?
Yeah, if we're chilling in town, then at some point we're gonna have to take a rest.
Okay. All right, Zesus.
Just, I handed off the cool golden lion medallion thing. I handed that off to Lantoris.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. All right, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, real quick, can I just do a passive perception check? And I'm just kind of like looking to see if there's anybody odd or out of place within the pub there.
Okay. Yep, go ahead and roll for it.
I'm looking for people that seem odd or might be staring at us or trying to figure out what we're doing.
Okay.
26.
Okay. No, but you've noticed that you've sat there for roughly 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and you're not feeling rested at all. Not even, you know what I mean? Like, you're not feeling like you're getting rest. You're noticing that where you're at, because you're in the bar as well. Yeah. You've noticed that, like, as you go to, do some sort of thing where you'd be able to check to see what you've got for lay on hands, or, gather some strength back, you've noticed that you didn't really, get anything back. So despite going into the bar and hanging out, and chilling, if you wanted to sit back, you weren't able to do that.
Okay, so I just feel unrested, and it's awkward that I feel that way.
Yeah, like if you try to rest, you keep, you still feel keyed up. Like you try to, you know what I mean? It's like you took a Celsius or something like that, and then you went straight to bed. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, what the? Can't,
So maybe I'll nudge Cliff, and I'll ask Cliff if he's feeling the same way, like he just can't get any can't feel calm or get any rest.
Do I feel like that?
You're not really aware of it because you haven't been trying to rest, but like, you know, because you didn't make a perception check or anything like that. But you'd have to, you know, based on what he was saying, you'd have to, you know, sit back and try to sense things yourself.
Yeah, I'll kind of. I mean, I'm not drinking. Cliff doesn't drink.
Yeah.
I'll sit back and kind of try to relax, I guess.
Yeah. Same thing. Yep. You try to relax, like you would gain, you know, your hit point die back kind of situation, or if you had that spell ability, you're not. Yep. Just not. Because you're at the bar as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Everybody's there, right? Except for Asa and Belgar walked off. Lantaurus is. Yep. Okay.
So if I understand, and Cliff feels the same way, I guess, you know, is there any reason for this that is apparent to me?
Nope.
Okay.
Just it's something different, and you're just like, well, maybe, you know, for you could be the bar, the loud noises and stuff like that, but could be a place to rest. But you just kind of notice that there's something different. You know, like it's something you're continually like not at ease.
So is there? Let's see.
Do I get the sense that this is a magical effect?
I've got a detect magic.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to throw out was.
So yeah, with detect magic, there's shit tons of magic around you. So you have to be like because of weapons and spellcasters and things like that. So you'd have to. This one I would be like, yeah, you've got this, you know, the cup in your hand, detect magic or whatever, or describe it a little bit for me.
Okay. So Tristan, you finish up and let me know if you share that with the group.
So you want me to finish my cup?
No, it's nothing to do with the cup. Sorry, I'm just saying, like, you know, I want to detect magic on the spoon, or whatever.
I would share it with the group. I would say I just feel like something's awry. I don't feel right.
You also feel, you know, I would say with the 26 kind of situation, I always say kind of situation, I have to get rid of that phrase. Are you gonna, you're not, you tried to rest, you know, so this is, I'm stepping into your agency a little bit just because of the perception and whatever, I'm offering you something, right? So, because it was pretty high. You're like, do we get a room here, or we go back to the Stronghold to try to, your paladin side, right? Your martial instinct is, all right, I'm gonna go lay down and let's try to rest. You're feeling it. What I'm saying, you're starting to feel like exhaustion.
So
and you look around and you're just like, we should probably rest.
Yeah, definitely. So I would recommend to the rest of the group that we go to the Stronghold where it's probably most safe and do a long rest.
I'm definitely ready whenever you guys are. Sounds like a good thing to do right before you try to go to sleep.
Right here. Sorry. I just moved to the other side of the table for a second.
Going in low power mode.
Okay, so what did you guys decide to do?
So I'm gonna go if I can, as Henry with the paladin sharing what he shared, I'm gonna go to the church and pray, and then climb up to the highest point, and I'm gonna cast detect magic, specifically looking for some sort of field or some sort of control, or are we where we think we're supposed to be?
Yep.
I guess
I
that's
see
like
what you're trying to do.
Yeah, direction finding, if you will.
Okay, so Cliff, what are you doing when this happens? This is a transition point. Cliff, where are you going?
I'm just gonna stick with Zeus and Henry for the moment. Either which one seems to be sussing
You guys
out
are going
the
to
situation.
You guys are going to the church. All right.
Yeah.
And Connor, where are you headed?
I'm heading back to Stronghold.
Okay, figure out what's going up. You guys climb up to the steeple and you're making an assessment. How do you want to make this assessment? You see the rest of the party like walk off into the stronghold. The clouds part. The bobblehead with the crown.
I love it.
Hello, Henry, it's me, Tyr. Just kidding. It's not gonna be that, but that would be awesome. All right. Let's be more dramatic, I suppose. So Zeus, who's your deity? Helm. You guys are Helm. Helm and Tyr were kind of tight, though. I think, if I remember correctly. Helm is the full plate mail guy. All right, so you guys are near him. You gotta have mutual respect for another lawful good deity. Kind of chill. Uh, Henry gets out and he extends his hands, and he kind of closes his eyes and begins to like call out for divine intervention through Tyr and in the name of justice and things like that, and just like this huge arc of light spreads the clouds that were dissipating. The town like literally goes like clear. You guys notice this as well, and this light from above him that you can kind of see, the scales of justice appearing there as well. So it's just like this light, and inside of it, it's a different kind of radiant light. It's not like a shadow, but you see the scales of justice above Henry, and no. What is thy bidding? It's just gonna be too. You get this sense that you have gained the attention of Tyr's avatar sense in Faerun, and literally anybody that's like walking around outside the church are like, whoa, kind of like looking up like, what just happened? And like a flash, the clouds just poof, and it's like clear, right? Like it just emanates from this thing and it just like dissipates the clouds, and it's bright and sunny outside. But you get the sense that, go ahead, like, what do you know, Tyr is there, muted. There you go. You had it going, and then he was like, "Well, I didn't hear anything, so bye, Tyr."
I'd like to talk to you about your car warranty. No. Oh, mighty Tyr. We're smoked, man. We just got off the X. We're trying to sort out our life here, and something's not right. Like, what is going on? What are we not seeing? What are we not? What are we not feeling, or what did we do wrong?
You know, there is a balance sometimes in order to bring justice to the world. It's not that the overarching wrong has occurred. You've gained favor within your close friends of very dark forces. You are on the right path. You will need to descend into this darkness to bring justice to the plains and push back rising forces of darkness that seek to bring imbalance to Faerun.
Oh,
What are you specifically asking for? So he just lets you know that, like, you're not missing it.
yeah.
What's happening with, why you may or may not have stepped off the line. That is part of your destiny. But you are there specifically to make sure it doesn't get too whack. He says that. Tyr says whack.
Yeah. Stuck. Here, this plane of existence, this home of ours doesn't feel right. Is there are we walking down a path to screw this up, or are we where we should be?
Blood wars in the Avernus are it's at a breaking point where one of our celestial bodies who's on the plane, who has imprisoned Tiamat, is allowing Tiamat to come into Faerun in order to gain strength through sacrifices. Everything that you're doing, all the entities that you've spoken to, are all part of this corruption within the Avernus that's causing these breaches into Faerun.
Should we stop? Should we stop talking to Passacor? Is he the problem?
Passacor is one of many creatures that are taking advantage of ships and power. And it's like you can't say, you know what I mean, like, that he's not throwing things off balance.
Yeah,
your
definitely.
dealings with Passacor are currently on your path. Your duty is to keep your friends from straying too far. But you will experience a lot of darkness by getting your sister to her destiny with you.
And
You have
speaking
one
of
more
which-
question. He's just like, you have one more question.
Okay.
Hey, so can I hear all this happening, or is this something Henry's gonna have to back brief me on?
You can hear him talking back and forth with him, but you get the idea that you are not a channel to speak to Tyr, right? Like,
But I can hear this interaction.
you
So
guys are right there. You guys are up in the bell tower, you know what I mean, or whatever, and this kind of, you guys like, dear God, and God's like, hey, what's up? So you guys are like, oh, shit, you know what I mean? Like, we weren't expecting this at all.
So
Help me out.
I'm nudging Henry real quick, and I'm like, bro, ask him if ask him who the good people are. Actually, ask him who's bad, who's pretending to be good.
Who's trying to hoodwink us here? Help me out here. I need your guidance. I need your help to figure
Like
out who we should
in the
trust.
world,
In all the planes, everyone that we've come into interaction with, who should we be trusting right now? Who should we not be trusting?
should you not be trusting? I don't think. I'll tell you. He's like, trust Melandrak today. Trust Melandrak tomorrow, he says.
Trust Melandrak.
Sorry. Trust,
no.
nope, he's
Okay,
like, he didn't say that.
Plus
He
one,
said,
plus one for the elves.
yeah, he's like, trust Lady Lariel's instincts.
It's been a nice conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks.
He's like, and he looks
back.
at you and he's like, Manu is not a loss. He's like, and it, you know, in the light kind of leaves. You feel some sort of blessing being bestowed on you, and you will grow into it. But you feel a little bit different. That's all I'll say. And we'll work through this over the next session or so. But you roll a divine intervention. That's tight.
Yeah,
So
I didn't expect
yeah,
that
you
to
probably
work.
won't do that again. But
Not
yeah, so you get the
expecting
sense, he doesn't have an answer of like, look, there's so many people not to trust. The Zentarum are clearly taking advantage of everything that they can, right? But yet they're helping, right? The Arcane Brotherhood are clearly taking advantage of everything they can, yet some are helping. It's one of those situations where it's more like, who can you really trust, I guess, is more the question.
Was I was trying to get to, is like,
Yeah.
who do we believe here? Who do we put our chips in the game with?
You can trust the guidance on this realm, probably, and he's just like Protanthar in Lady Lariel, without a doubt.
Okay. Didn't expect that to work. I was unprepared for my success.
Hey, you're doing great. Rooting for you. You know what I mean? Like, everybody for Tyr. You see Tyr up there, like, follow, subscribe, Tyr. All right, I'm out. Woo!
See you later.
You look
Okay.
down, and it's only like 3:00, and people are like, Henry! Henry! Like, all these, like, people are starting to worship, like, Henry now, like, the great Henry has spoken! Ah! There's lots of Tyr subscribers in Falandin right now.
Dig it. Yeah, did not expect that one to work. I was just going to cast Detect Magic, look for Bubble.
Yep. So you guys are back at the cathedral. You guys just kind of cliff Zesis. In terms of like holy power stuff, like, you get a mad amount of respect for cleric that just did this. Like that was pretty tight.
I obviously share with the other holy fellows of my team.
Yep. So Foz rest. Is everybody trying to get their rest on back in the stronghold?
That's the intent for me. Yeah.
Okay. Beep, boop. Cliff, Thesis, you guys gonna stay back in the cathedral?
No,
Are you
I'm
heading
gonna
go to the
back to the
stronghold?
stronghold with everyone else.
I think we're good here, guys. I think we did what we needed to do. Hope you guys feel better.
Okay, so everybody's gonna head to the stronghold right now and take a nappy nap.
Yep.
Right? Is that consensus? All right. I'm going to grab Addie's little iPad that she's putting herself down for a nap with, and I'll be back in 2 minutes, and then I'll be all yours. Everybody wants to take a short little 2 minute break. 2, 3, 4 minute break. 5. So you guys all slept. Well, you guys were in the stronghold. Everybody slept in the stronghold or attempted to sleep in the stronghold. Cliff, Zesus, you all had some pretty unsettling dreams of Hell Riders, Zeus's uncle betraying, the Hell Riders, his great uncle, his great relatives, um, Lantaurus, doing your best to rest or whatnot. You constantly were plagued of visions of lakes of acid, rivers of fire, and an apocalyptic world ruled by Tiamat. Uh, Connor, you saw, the misty forest in flames. Manu, you slept great. The rest of the party did not sleep at all. You did not gain the benefits of a short and or long rest. You spent 8 hours tossing and turning. Henry, go ahead and roll a perception check. You did. Yep. Nobody else in the stronghold gained a long rest. Ash did not. Ash is sitting there in the corner, like, wherever did not get a good rest. Maybe you slept. You're like, "Ugh, this is great."
15.
Yeah, you realize that whatever you went up to the cathedral with, you felt good there. Whenever you went back to try to sleep here, you do not feel good at all. You wake up in the morning. Belgar's looking like he got enough of a rest when Asa and him went to the stronghold, enough to gather his spell. There's a circle on the ground. He's like, whenever you guys are ready, the Königsguard are latching the yokes and things like that up for Daisy and Daryl. The whole like, we'll meet you guys in Elturel kind of sequence is going on. But you guys have bags under your eyes. Everybody but Manu has one level of exhaustion.
Okay, are our level 14 applicable?
So you are 14, but you did not gain any slots or anything like that. You know that you have the experience, so just stay with me on this. You know you
Yeah,
have the
I'm trying, yeah.
experience. You're not rested.
I'll sort of see you guys and I can normally sleep anywhere. I've slept in battlefields. I've slept in trees. I've slept anywhere. What happened? I couldn't sleep at all last night.
Something is definitely keeping you alert. Like you want to go to sleep, you want to rest, but then it's like something breaks you out of whatever that is. So that's how you experience this, Connor. Like something like you know what I mean? You're like, what the hell is going
So
on? Like every time.
So this has only happened since we've come back from the plane of Earth.
That you're aware of. Yeah. Since your last
Yeah,
rest, you've not been able to rest.
So basically, the stuff we've done since then, I'm just talking to the party and saying, look, we've done some epic stuff in our past. The things that we've done in the past 24 hours, which one of them do you reckon could have caused this? What's happened to us? And
I'd
I'll
like
look
to
around
know
and go,
You feel great. I mean,
so can we tell that?
you haven't
can
really
we tell
tried
that?
to do anything, but you're feeling pretty fantastic with it.
Can we tell Manu's pretty chipper this morning?
Yep. I mean, you can roll for it if you'd like
yeah.
to, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Perception check. May have got 32.
Yeah. Instantly, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of getting the vibe that Manu slept great, everybody else slept like ass. This all happened in the bar. The dudes didn't sense anything in the cathedral, but then they went back into the stronghold. It's something's up. Something's up with uh, being around Manu. It's like something's up.
I'm just going to come out and say it. How come, Manu? You're perfectly rested. Look at the rest of us. Yeah, none of us slept well, and talking to our other friends here, that when they were away from us, they were able to get some rest. You might not knowingly be doing anything. So, okay. How about this? Me and you go for a walk back to town, and we'll let these guys see if they can get a short rest when they're away from you. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, breakfast sounds like a plan.
He's like, so Manu, the spells of your artifact, the spells only, those came to you in a dream last night, and you were like, snap! Like, you know what I mean? You're like, whoa, you were doing like awesome things with it. So you kind of get the idea that the spells only, are what you know that you could probably do with that eye now. Okay? The rest is going to be trickled along the way. Uh, so you and Connor walk off. You tell everybody to take a rest. Short rest within an hour. Everybody gets a short rest. Connor, you do not, because you were hanging out. Yep.
Yeah, I
And
get that.
you get it. Like now that you've got that 32, you see this eye staring. No matter where you go, Manu's looking this way. The eye's watching you because you're definitely making an assessment on it. It's like sitting there, like gotta focus, and you're like, yeah, okay. So what I'm gonna say is, you can't rest within 300 feet of Manu. Nothing can rest, period, or gain any effects of rest within 300 feet of Manu.
So after the hour, we'll have a breakfast. We'll go back to the group. We'll know that they were able to rest.
Yep.
And
Good
I'll
job.
say, Manu, do you think this ain't right? Yeah, but look what the effect you're having on all your friends. Seriously, this. Yeah, you have two eyes, or does the eye have you?
You have low intel now, right? Yeah, he has no clue. Yeah, yeah. You're trying to explain this stuff to him, and he's just like, you know that you're just it. Unless you roll higher. You can roll for an investigation if you'd like, or yeah, to see if you understand what 17? Uh yeah. You get the idea, but you get the feeling that there's no way you can part with it. So it's like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah, you might have two eyes, but let's just hope that's all the. I don't get it, and I'll just sort of, I'll walk off 300 feet away, enough away, and I need a short rest just to get my head round because it's.
Yeah,
I'm
you accomplished that. Belgar's like tapping his feet, like, come on, come on, come on. I've been building this thing. The longer we wait, the less I'm attuned to where we're trying to go.
right. Let's just go back then. I need a rest. I'm hanging.
Okay. So everybody has achieved a short rest prior to the teleportation ritual. You guys kind of assemble back there. Daisy and Daryl, the Koenigsguard, the Hell Riders, etc., etc., etc. Kidna, McCaff the Crimson kind of wants to come with you guys in the teleportation. You guys have any issue with that?
No.
She just wants to hang out as far away from Connor as possible.
He was dissing her. But you guys get within 10 feet of Belgar, which this is going to be real fun. Who wants to go in the teleportation circle?
Isn't it the Turtle's job to always go first?
Yeah. This one you have to bamf out together.
I'm in.
To be fair, if he's used a teleportation circle to connect to a teleportation circle,
It should be okay.
Yeah.
Should be okay.
I'm in.
Is it 100? Is it 100% chance?
Unless his eye fucks it up, right? Tortle's going.
Is it the spell teleportation circle, or is it the spell teleport?
It's the spell teleport.
If you know the teleportation circle, it should be 100%.
Yeah, it's 100%. Yep. Okay. Come on, I was just getting to it. Yeah. Yep, it's 100%. So you guys kind of sit there.
We'll send Manu first, and if his eye wants to do something weird of it, Manu can go for a trip somewhere else.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you guys sit there, and Belgar kind of lifts up his head. He gives off an incantation that he's reading out of this black leather bound, almost the black leather kind of gives a creepy vibe that it might be skin of a person, and it's got like a tongue nailed to the front of it. And he's just like reading like whatever. He's like, yeah, zim zablum bim. And you guys find yourself for a moment. You feel the streaming kind of winds or arcane, power around you, and then it dissipates, and you guys are in that very familiar teleportation circle in the palace slash castle slash chateau palace, whatever, in Waterdeep, where there it is. Like you guys see your hallway where it's like the Duchy of Skyreach, your Avengers headquarters. It's sitting there, and then there's the butlers that you guys have seen before. They're all like, oh, and they like clap their hands and like run down the hallway to get kind of everything set up. And you see someone you remember that like what was that, the racist guard that was like racist against, he kind of sees you guys like, oh, and he's like, go to Lady Lyriel at once. And the racist guard like runs upstairs. Yeah. His name is Dunham. Dunham runs upstairs, and
I'll go, Manu, go find somewhere else to stay for a bit.
Okay. Did you bring Ash in the circle with you? Okay. All right. There was enough room. So you've got Ash. The appropriate handlers take Ash where to a room or whatever. Okay. They're like donuts. They're called ash holes, and he goes and eats those. Let's
Inspiration
see.
for the DM there. Inspiration for the DM there. Was it?
Cliff, I don't think you've been here before. Zesis, you guys haven't been here before, but you know the word has got out since you guys were. I don't know, where'd you guys join? Castle Naertar? Yeah.
I was
The word,
yeah.
they're chiseling a Z and a C on a room on a stone tablet, and you guys have a room kind of, it's empty, but it's fit to whatever you kind of need. There's various icons to Helm in there that they were aware of, but this area they built, their party built a long time ago to be kind of customed to them. um, Various hub, you guys are at the bottom of a large stone staircase, very wide circle, where the teleportation circle is. You go up like one flight of stairs. There's your long hallway where all your rooms are. There's a place to eat. Everything is perfect in there. You keep going up, and it enters the other chambers of the palace where, various famous, water derpian, what do they call them? Unmasked and unmasked rulers of Waterdeep are. Um, But you guys want to take your do you want to take your long rest now? You want to just go hit the sack, and they lead Manu, for the time being, downstairs, flight after flight after flight, to where there's like an archery range, in the base of this, like an indoor archery range, and they kind of set up a spot for Manu and Ash in the basement. They carry down bales of hay and weird shit that an owl bear will eat, ash holes, and they you guys just you guys can take another rest, but Manu, you don't need a rest. Time does fly.
Yeah, I'm definitely all in for rest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty.
Not so. Anything other than the spells that you know are things that you'll find out along the way. Like if you attempt to go do something, you might be better at it, or terrible at it, or what have you. Yes, yeah, it's lit by I don't know. Does it give you? I don't have it up right now. Is that? Yeah, yeah. Let me. Yeah, yeah, one sec.
Can it see him if I shoot his eye with a bolt?
Can you shoot his eye with a bolt?
No.
Uh,
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, could he still see if I shot his eye with a bolt?
Uh-oh. No PvP.
You'd have to try to find me, mate. What's your perception skill? My stealth plus 15.
Yeah, you can clearly see a lot. Like, yeah. But we'll kind of go off. Well, let's not derail the party, but I don't see dark.
If it's what I think it is, he gets better vision
Yeah.
than dark vision.
Yeah. You can normal darkness. For right now, you can see in normal darkness. I didn't read that right. Yep. So you have dark vision. Apologies. Okay. All right. So you guys are taking your long rest.
Yeah. I'm a grumpy git when I'm exhausted.
Okay. All right. You guys are taking a long rest, and um, Henry, uh, yeah, a knock on your door. Long rest o'clock.
Okay.
Uh, kind of achieved, but you hear a knock on the door if you're there. If not,
Yeah.
it can be Lantoris.
No.
And open the door, and there is Leosin with his pointy ears and his well kempt kind of goatee, and Liam Neeson is like, Henry, oh, welcome.
How can I
Are
help
you
you?
feeling
Liam?
are you feeling rested?
I am feeling much better than I was about a day ago.
Okay.
How may I be of service?
He's like, well, you guys have come back, and we're running a little short on time. The Vanguard's prepping to depart. In the next few hours, you guys think that you could kind of assemble upstairs? Lady Lariel would like to speak with you, and then we would like to hold, one last council before we depart. If it's okay with you guys, we know you're busy, but like I said, Lady Lariel would like to talk to you. My friend, what's her name? Oh, your buddy,
Harper?
Ramelia Haventree, and Lady Lariel would like a private audience with you guys, whoever would like to speak to her, and then we'd like to hold a session, if you don't mind, council of Waterderp.
I will summon the team here,
Okay.
and I'm going to Duchy assemble for everybody. Just let everyone know what's going on. Give them a showtime. I was like, and then I'll ask Liam Neeson, like, do they want to talk to me separately, or do they want to talk to us separately from the council?
No, I mean he knew you from way back in the day, and I figured you wanted to talk to old Liam Neeson.
Absolutely.
He was going to be the guy that was going to come see you guys anyway. So
Love that guy.
love some Liam Neeson. But yeah, he's happy to. Leosin. His name is Leosin. You come into my house, you get Christina's name right.
That's an old joke. Sorry for everybody. Mono. But
Sorry if it came across a little Manu tone. All right, sorry.
Yeah, definitely. I'll message the rest of the team. I'll walk down the hall, and I will bring coffee and Manu.
That's right. There's a little cafe, and they've turned it into a like a hotel shellbucks. Somebody that's trying to be an entrepreneur. Clearly a Zentarum. Definitely. Third troop's gone, buddy. Troop's part of the B team. Remember, you guys sent them on a quest. Yeah, so there's so much to get caught up with. You sent the B team to include like everybody's little page, or literally and figuratively, in the case of Henry, went to go figure out what's up with the Giants. And they have been gone for a long time. I mean, they left as a level 5 party to go to Skyreach Castle, so they might be dead. Good use of scrying, but we have no spellcasters. Well, arcane ones. Sorry, clerics. My bad.
I have access to scrying.
Do you? Ooh. But you don't know. So, all right.
I have access to it, but I've never done it. I never used it.
Scrying's tight. Krista did it for the Wave Echo Cave and kind of led you guys straight to the portals, which was kind of awesome. Okie Silly Dokio, you guys meet in the little, it's been turned into a shell box. You guys come out of your rooms. Manu comes upstairs. You don't feel uneasy around Manu. You just have shit dreams. When you try to rest, you instantly get like It's like you're all like caffeinated, over caffeinated or something. Yeah, you're not catching a I hate, Manu. He's you know the essence of evil. You can't rest around him. Cats are feral and stuff like that. It's like the presence of the Drakhorn kind of. But anyways, there you guys are. We made it. A session of Waterdeep with with more than two people, which is fantastic.
When you say one session of Waterdeep, you do realize it'll probably be more.
Yeah, yeah. There's been like 5 already. Well, I mean, you guys could lose, and there could be a chapter 18. I don't know. Hopefully, this all works out.
And it's suddenly the zombie duchy.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want to do? You're downstairs. You're da- yeah. So there's like this. If you travel far enough down into, it's not necessarily like the crypts or anything like that, but there's a place where you can get um to the like a bottom of a cliff, and it kind of jets out. And if you walk, about a kilometer or so, you can get to the shoreline, like a back way to get to like the palace boats and things like that. Does that make sense? Ish. Okay. But they sent a runner down there to tell you, to come on up. Okay, so yeah, there you guys are. Henry tells you that they're asking for a private audience with Lady Lariel, and then whatever, and then a final council within an hour, and that the rear guard is preparing to march. So, they basically like, hey, we're going to give you the final guidance of what's going on and tell you what we think is, what they think the final plan is.
Let's go.
Behind my timeline.
I'll say, Manu, you might want to keep your eye. You might want to put your eye patch back on.
See through the eye patch, sir. I had to. I'm trying to. Every time you do something, I'm trying to let you know what a trait is or something like that as you do something without like spoiling it. I don't know. Trying to play Dungeons and Dragons. World's okayest. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Do you guys plan on heading up to see Lady
Yes.
Lariel, the whole party? Is everybody in tow?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Okay. They lead you up to as you guys can kind of see on the other map, it's a library where they pushed a whole bunch of tables together. I take whatever little toys I've got and I'll be like, that's what it looks like. So that's what happens. So there's a library where they've been kind of planning things out. Lady Lariel at this juncture is by herself, and Bromelia Haventree is in there as well. They're kind of chatting back and forth. And as soon as, she sees Lantoris walk into the room, she's like, hey, like, welcome. She's a harper. She's got a very, she's a moon elf. She's got a very good disposition. And she walks up and instantly like walks up to Cliff and Zesis and introduces herself, tells her that, she's a member of the Harpers, if you're unfamiliar, go ahead and ask me. But we like to provide open and free information across Faerun. And thank you guys so much for joining us. There's a light breakfast available. There's like a fish out for Henry or for Manu, and there's everybody's hero feastish type whatever they thought that you'd kind of want is available. So you sit down, Lady Lariel, very calmly, as a very very powerful wizard. She's always in. She's got like beautiful hair. She reminds me of Galadriel, I think her name is, from Lord of the Rings. She's kind of got that ish about her. She's like the very fair, maiden, very almost like a goddess. You know, there's a shimmering, a bit of a shimmering aura about her, and very calming as you see her. She's got some sort of incantations and spells and stuff that are beyond, level 9ish stuff at her level, where she can craft her own things. And there's a bit of a harp kind of playing in the background, and she's like, "Welcome, dear friends. You've done so much for our realm. Without you, we would be at a loss." And kind of like, gestures for you to all either take a seat or not, because she's got something she's got to say to you. As she says this, a knight in, golden full plate mail kind of chomps into like appears from a window, and kind of you heard like a big like whooshing flap, and then kind of diving in and like doing an Avengers kneel. Protanthar kind of like walks up and crosses his arms like so, and nods to you guys, kind of pulling security for Lady Lariel. Uh, she looks across the room. She looks at Connor, uh, and then she kind of points to Romelia. Romelia walks up to Henry, who's a fellow harper. Henry, Namaste. I've got to give you an honest assessment. And she looks at Connor, and she looks at Macath the Crimson, who kind of is in there as well. Macath is off to the side, messing with a few books. Daylan, Winterhound, and I, who have many informants across the realm, are in agreement. We feel that the lack of arcane powers puts you at a disadvantage.
This
Puts us at a disadvantage. We think that we could, with the amount of soldiers, we could stand a chance militarily, but the amount of red wizards is going to make our circumstances very dire, especially while the ritual is going on. We think we may be overpowered. Lady Lariel stands up, and almost as if she was about to cry, she looks at you, Foz. You guys have done so much for us. I don't know how I can ask you for more. You are truly the heroes of our age. And, she looks over at Protanthar. She's like, we think we need to ask you for one more potential suggestion. There has been that red wizard that's still outside of town. We feel as if we brought in this wizard. We put him in a zone of truth. I put him in a zone of truth personally. The Thayan has been subject to a zone of truth. It's clear that Zaz-Tam wants all of the Thayan resurrection and the Red Wizards dead in the worst possible way. What we have discovered is this Wrath Modar has broke off from the Thayans. What I would ask of you, if you feel it worthy, is to accompany this ambassador to what's called a Tharkrion, a governor of Thay, and seek audience with this governor who speaks on behalf of Zaz-Tam. We have been promised, even in the Zone of Truth, that you would be returned. And it would only take maybe a couple days. We feel that if we can come to an agreement with the Thayans, they could cripple the magical forces on the battlefield. As she looks at Connor, she's like, I've spoken with McCath and I understand your concerns. I think this is probably the best way for us to alleviate some of the concerns with magic as we're not getting the support that we need from the Arcane Brotherhood.
Okay, Lady Laria, I totally agree. Anything that we can get, but surely we should try both.
It's like, of course. She's like, yes, absolutely.
It's just that
Understand.
I don't
She's
feel.
like, yeah.
I just don't feel that they've considered what will happen if we are successful. They don't realize how much of let's just say, races have long memories, especially my own. And if the Brotherhood decide to not participate in this, it will have long-reaching consequences, whether we're successful or not.
Yes. She's like, of course, you know that I understand.
Oh no, I think
My efforts to gain any more support from the Arcane Brotherhood have fallen on deaf ears. We'll do what we can. I'm under the impression that maybe a letter from King Melandrak himself expressing consequences could sway maybe some more support and might bring out some more wizards once they hear this, fully well knowing that the elves not supporting them, in the future, that's not going to bode well for the Arcane Brotherhood. Unfortunately, Kashan the Red is vehemently against disrupting what he considers a balance, as letting whatever this is played out. She's like, I can't necessarily speak on his behalf, and she generalizes and blah 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 blah, and the DM is not as smart as Larry.
I get it. It's just I'm a simple man, and these things I just don't understand, and I'll just leave it as that.
If you guys are willing to depart on this journey, I would be greatly indebted to you, and Leosin can kind of give you your debrief on what to expect after we hold our last council. Hopefully. Despite the last council that we'll have in Elturel, despite the last council we'll have before we go to the Well Dragons, despite the last dragon. But anyways.
To be honest, anything we can do to shore up our any outstanding allies at this point is we just need to do it. What says the rest of us?
Yeah, Lady L'Ariel, I think that you speak wise words, and you could never ask too much from us. We will fight to our dying breath, and this sounds like a quest that could only bring good. It could only help us. I for one support it.
She's like, you guys constantly surprise me with your generosity. And she's kind of like looks over at Manu, and she's just like, "Oh, my poor dear." Yeah. She's like, "Okay."
Is there anything you can? I mean, I'm gonna hold what I got, and I'm gonna ask. Is this what you think is the smartest move for us to make?
Lariel? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she's coming to you. Protanther is right there, by the way, who's, basically the closest member to Tyr in all of, the material plane. Protanther is big justice energy. Like that's his number one thing. He's a big Tyr fan. Obviously.
So, okay, is the impression that we get that they want us to go now?
As quickly as possible, but after you guys get this last briefing before she's like, Sir Jean is going to give us the last briefing as they depart towards Baldur's Gate and hit the something river. The Choanthar River. I got a map. And move to Alterel.
What of Silvery Moon? I thought that they were strong in mage as well.
They are, but they've only got like a handful themselves. It's just there's not a lot of what they're like war wizards or something like that. There's not a lot. And that's where this big vacuum came from. There's just I want to keep in Faerun being an arcane wizard. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be rarer than
Does it seem does it seem like anybody else is an outlier as far as supporting our cause right now? I mean, is everybody here? Are we going to have a session now, or are we just? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's like whoever's available is. She's like Oltar Ravengard or whatever his name is. He's obviously already moving the flaming fist to Elturel, so he's gone. Unthar Frume's gone. Sir Esteval from Cormier, he's like Sir Jean's gonna, explain all of that. But Brunor and their folks, they moved, but a Dagnabbit, his was the Iron Guard of Anbar or whatever. She's here. Dagnabbit's here, and she's kind of going to be she's like an up and coming ruler of Mithril Hall.
Is Conrad here?
Conrad is. Yeah, he's always here. He'll stay back with me. She's probably, Lady Lariel gives the impression that she holds up this magical dome over top of Waterdeep, and her departure may or may not happen. She's going to have to arrive specifically at the time of the fight so that Waterdeep doesn't get attacked. Because there's too many refugees there. Like everybody, there's a big vacuum of like refugees. Between her and Protantha are protecting the city.
Okay.
I'm clearly down. Can I do an insight check with Lady Lariel as she looked at Manu and made her gesture?
Yes, as you do this insight check, you can add +2 because you have the blessing of understanding, and you now have a +2 to your wisdom. So you can add +2 to wisdom.
Ooh.
You may not exceed 22.
I'm now at 20.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
Nice.
If I stand really close to him, do I feel more wise?
Nice. You walk. All right, sorry.
So I'm at a dirty 22.
And your insight was based on what are you trying to assess?
Like, she saw something with Manu. I'm gonna ask her. I was like, Lady Lariel, what's going on?
Oh. Whoa.
What's going on with her?
She's like, I'm not sure exactly, but I haven't felt the presence of a lich in a really long time. And his eye, he's like, his eye definitely is of concern, but it's a lesser of two evils situation, and your friend is not good anymore.
Do we need to have concern?
What's that?
Do we have to be concerned about him being?
She's
in the
higher
room?
than like level 20 in terms of wizard. So Lady Lariel is, you know what I mean? She's yeah. She's like, I can see it. She's like, I too have true sight.
So, how does this affect us?
How does what affect you?
With old Manu and his lich eye.
She's like, there's a lot happening, you know. The force is clouded right now. There's a lot of Order 66 going on, but I'm not. She's like, I can take time once this is kind of resolved to dig into it. But I feel. She's like, where did he get this?
I'll explain the whole Passacor shit show.
Oh, yeah. So as soon as you started mentioning that, she's like, well, fiends are always trying to gain power and influence. If a fiend gave you something like this, they're trying to empower themselves, gain rank, gain influence somewhere in their realm. There's posturing going on. Probably, it's very clear that if Tiamat is leaving Avernus, something's going on in the Blood Wars. There's in Avernus, it is ruled by a woman, a fallen celestial being named Zariel. She's like, Zariel was given this ruling of Avernus after a battle by this dark lord named Asmodeus. Zariel took command of Avernus from a dark lord and a great fiend named Bel. There is animosity between devils and fiends all around Avernus. If people are making deals in the fringes as this develops, it's clear that during the shifts of power in the Blood Wars that folks are taking, dark entities are influencing, either weakening. So the Blood Wars, she describes, are between demons and devils. Demons being, in another form of the Nine Hells, coming from the abyss and things like that. And they constantly posture for more, plainer rule. And it seems to me that this is becoming another troubled time.
Is there anything we need to know about how to... Is there any warnings you have for us with Manu and the Lich Eye? What I'm looking for, let me explain. What I'm trying to figure out is if Lariel knows anything about how to deal with Manu and the Lich Eye, or if we need to be warned of anything. Does that make sense? Can she give us any other information on what we're doing?
The eye is very, very powerful magic for it's not good. He still has his agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
There may or may not be fringe, changes, but it doesn't appear that he's, outwardly he's not you know what I mean? Like she describes, there's no PD situation here. Once again, the DM saying there's the BBEG is not a player character, nor are they involved whatsoever. Is it a part, you know what I mean, of a string or whatever? Potentially, but there's nothing. I would try to figure out what the long game is for this fiend.
Okay.
But you describe this fiend, you know what I mean, from her research, isn't an archdevil. It's a lieutenant. So just based on that, it doesn't seem like that's going to flip the balance. But she does say, is this fiend an agent for someone more? Every patron's got a patron, right? So that might be something you need to look into. And if you find anything out, she's like, that might be your calling.
Okay, so we basically be on the lookout for more information on who's Pasticor's daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Very well. I'm on board. Is there anyone who doesn't want to go seek the red folk? Anyone not that?
First, the final session. I will
Yes.
say that this is kind of the same thing. You guys are mingling as the session kind of begins. You guys moving into this final council.
Yeah. Also, mention obviously that I'm still interested in getting this letter. Need to sort out.
Yep.
We need some.
Yep. Alagarthas. Well, Melandrak will be in attendance. You found out.
Yep.
Melandrak will be also there.
Yeah. So it's not just Melandrak. I want everyone possible to sign this of the hires, the sort of the heads of the fractions, just so it lends even more weight. If it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere, but at least we've tried. Does nobody have a tragic backstory of that one of their relatives was an arcane brotherhood that they can leverage and guilt into doing it?
Fresh out, I'm just related to a tiefling.
Just checking.
Just call it the lich eye. It's like a lazy eye, but it's a lich eye.
So before the council starts, I'd like to just say I'm not comfortable with Manu being in the room.
That's so valid.
I mean, I understand that he's going to be a part of whatever we're doing, but I don't know what's looking through that eye. And
Yeah, go ahead and make a...
I don't really know that we need to be providing a direct stream to hell, essentially, of what we're planning to do to battle hell.
Makes
Valid.
sense. Hand him some ash holes and send him on his way.
You want Manu to depart the meeting? Yeah, are you keeping him? So what I'm saying is, are you keeping him in the party? Like, if this is
Oh, yeah.
like, what do you?
Yeah.
Is they're making some big?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
that's, to be honest with you, that's the conversation that I want to have, but...
Yeah. Okay, so
just for the
before
sake of
things
the
get
game, I think that I'll just
PvP
back off of that.
it is not a. It's not a. It's. There are certain what you guys are thinking of. There's certain things in the DMGs or whatever that says the Vecna's always watching or whatever. This is not the case necessary. This is not a. No one's picking that up necessarily, but you guys have your agency. You can move them out. Is that what you guys want to do? Manu, what do you want to do?
He's just dumb. He's just over there picking his nose.
And
Yeah.
none of
I think that, like, if this is the way Manu's character is going to be going forward, like just a total idiot, like we need to treat him that way, right? So go put him in the stables with the oxen, right? And then just we'll go and get him when we need him
Hey,
to,
look,
like, be
we'll
a
get
meat
him
shield, you know?
we'll just get him a load of beer, get him his friend, go drink, go and have a party.
how about
Yep.
So, you know, Portanther will let you know, Henry, is like the beacon is not a. It doesn't have a two-way receptor to anything. It is attached. It is a part of something evil, but it is not a transmitter.
yeah, that's kind of what I was going for is trying
Okay.
to figure out, do we have to treat him differently?
I'm not looking to disrupt or murder hobo this party and make it dramatic or anything like that. Right. So Manu is still, you know what I mean, one of the Power Rangers, right? Like, but it's just a little off. If it was a transmitter, I would let you know when it became a transmitter. Does that make sense? Or you'd figure out somehow or something like that. Currently, it's not
There's no
broadcasting. There's no streaming. Yeah.
So is there no
It
little
does-
red light in the middle of it? Is there a little red
It's
light that
not
comes
a
on?
Lich affiliate just yet. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's sit down.
Let's counsel this shit up.
No,
Okay.
I'll walk directly over to Conrad before, you know, everybody's seated, just and give him a hand on the shoulder and a nod, and then I'll go over to my seat.
Welcome back, friend. And he introduced you to what's her name? I forget her last name, but it's Dagnabbit.
Is she hot?
I mean, for a dwarf, yeah, she's got a really sick beard. It's Dagnabbit Waybeard. She's been in charge of the Iron Guard of Adbar for quite a long time. You've heard of her. She's straight out of her last assignment was at the Mithril Hall, and she's kind of like, you know, Baroness or something like that. But yes, she's probably going to be. So Brunor is like the honor, the king of honor. You know what I mean? Like there's really no overall king and queen of the
Right.
dwarves, but Dagnabbit is probably going to be that kind of role. Like it was, I believe it was like Conrad, and then Brunor became the king-ish. Brunor gets a little bit older. Dagnabbit it's kind of her time.
Gotcha.
But she's like, hello, you know, what language I'm using or what accent I'm using, but you know, she's there to lead the. She lets you know that Brunor has already departed, and that she's going to depart with the rear guard, and you know, the headquarters or whatever of the people that are heading towards the Chonthar River. The council comes together. You know, there's like tap 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 tap.
May the Morden Summon be with you. And I'll go and take my seat.
Alrighty. Yeah, various folks are there. Lady Lariel takes the center seat. Dagalt Neverember is there as well, looking very, you know, smug and disgruntled about not being in command anymore, or being the was it unmasked lord of the Lord's Alliance. King Melandrak arrives. You know, he gracefully, you know, nods, and a lesser elf, you know, comes to Connor and lets him know that he's willing to sign and deliver whatever contract this is to the Arcane Brotherhood, and is okay with having everybody sign it. This this piece of parchment, very fine parchment, goes around the table as everybody kind of signs it, saying like, "Dear Arcane Brotherhood, like, we are not going to buy from Arcane Brotherhood Acme at post Tiamat anymore. Like some sort of, your
also,
goods your goods and services are no longer, allowed here."
Talking to McCaff, because obviously, from what we know from McCaff and the Arcane Brotherhood, is that they are very much research based and they love trying to find new things.
Yeah.
We'll just, one of the caveats in there is that we will not share any arcane items with you at all.
Okay. Yep. And signing it, and the best font, the best font they have, best high elf fonts. McCaff the Crimson's there. She's, off, looking through the books in this library. Taryn Hornblade, who's the high wizard, human wizard from Silvery Moon. You see there is no representative of the Zentarum, but Hamelin is there, who's the 5th best Zentarum rep. If you guys remember Hamelin, he used to be in your party. And Protanther. Dalen Winterhound is there as well, accompanied with like this big dire wolf kind of hanging out with him. Sir John lays out this large map, and it's almost like it's got like a hologram to it. Like it can't be necessarily seen, or you can tell that it can't be scryed upon. And as he speaks, Lady Lariel puts some sort of cone over top of the room, and it gets like echoey, and it's almost like you're in some, chamber where everything is kind of like, kept, unable to scry. Sir John, stands up. He's like, on behalf of the Order of the Gauntlet, the Lord's Alliance, and the Flaming Fist, and he kind of looks over at Lady Lariel to begin the brief. He looks over the current battle plan, and it's got, you can tell it's got an incantation over it, where this thing can't be seen outside of certain circumstances. He stands up and he's like, "We will arrive in less than 10 days at the base of the caldera, within the Well of Dragons. There are Harper agents, and Taryn looks and he's like, and the clever use of scrying. We have discovered tens of thousands of cultists, mercenaries, many chromatic dragons, and evil profiting warbands. We plan on mixing," and he kind of like looks over at you guys. Our current plan is mixing whatever spellcasters we have with the soldiers that we have, whatever clerics that we have, with the soldiers that we have, to advance a frontal assault on the cultists that are outside of the base of the Well of Dragons. And he's like, and he looks, kind of, sadly, and he's like, and with the remaining metallic dragons, as he looks over at Protanther. Lady Lariel stands up, and you see Neverember kind of like groan a bit. It's one of these like weird groans where he's making it look like this is not the plan that he wanted, so he can save face if it fails. That's kind of Neverember's, ish. He's like, Sir John's like, we will lead the frontal attack, and as she says, she's like, which will create a distraction. It goes without saying that we face very dire odds. And Melandrak at this moment stands up, and everybody kind of looks up, because Melandrak hasn't spoken a word in one of these sessions. He's been very kind of reserved. And he looks over at Connor. He's like, Connor, you must lead them in a stealth maneuver. As the distraction is made, you need to get this party into the Well of Dragons, inside the caldera, and disrupt whatever ritual is going to happen. He's like, we believe that if you guys conduct this other mission and he looks at Lariel. With that, and you getting this should be enough, where this small group of powerful, individuals can create a large impact. We don't think. Yes, dear. You hear Addie?
Nope.
Yeah. Words. Words.
I'll salute and I'll say, sir, anything. We'll do that.
Okay.
Do we have any intel? Do we have any intel of the routes or anything like that we may take?
He's like, we can focus. We'll focus our efforts on access to the caldera. If that's what you want, we'll give you an update in El Terrell. Like, what he's describing is like there'll be a final update in El Terrell.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you. Very respectful to him because he is my king.
He's namaste, namaste. And they all, he drinks he eats leaves or whatever elf stuff does, and
elven wine, obviously.
Yeah, yes, of course. Ooh, very nice. It's a Volapolacella straight from the Misty Mountains, or the Misty Forest. Okay, so that little cutscene kind of occurs, and people kind of depart, and Lady Lariel's like, do you want to meet the other guest? Daylan Winterhound. If you don't mind, the incantation that's going to take you to wherever that is needs to be done outside the city walls, if you can understand. She doesn't want a portal to Thay opening up inside Waterdeep is what she's trying to say. If you get... Okay. Yep. So you guys want to... You guys had a long rest. You've all achieved that whatever that next whatever power-ups you received from leveling.
I got wheels. House has got wheels now, man.
What's that?
House has got wheels. I took the mobile feet, so now I have 35 feet of movement.
35?
Yeah, 35.
I had a choice for the blessing. I was like, do I give Henry 10 extra feet of movement? I was like, that's kind of lame. This is from tier. So I was like, yeah, let's give him more wisdom.
There you go.
Foz, sure. My Gloomstalker, not Gloomstalker, my scout ability gave me an extra 10 feet, so I'm actually moving 45 feet around now.
You guys want to have a race?
Yeah, I think he's gonna beat me now. I was feeling good about myself.
God, Goose, like
the difference is I'm behind you always. That's my job.
Kind of creepy, man. When you say it like that, it's kind of creepy.
What's that?
Well, okay. Would it involve us hitting you afterwards?
Yeah.
If it doesn't pass.
As long as we can all stay friends, you guys can PvP all you want. But if things get weird, I'll solve it. What do you? Oh, did you use secret? What are you casting? I mean, for the flavor of stuff, like go for it. If you want to demonstrate something, yeah. Oh, Connor's not gonna like that.
What spell's that? What spell saves that? Ah, 14. That's fine. 15.
Fail.
I passed.
You just pissed Foz off.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's gonna get awkward. As soon as you do that, Lady Lariel just like dispels it completely, just like enough of this. Let's go, boys.
I have a knowing look towards Foz and just slowly shake my head.
As
How
long
long
as Foz is
What
within
was
10 feet, he can't be frightened anyway, so he's good.
Ah! I like
is that what
dash myself to Zeus.
Is that
Yeah,
one of your abilities, is it?
Hang out with me, man.
Yeah.
Be
I'll
at
be
the head.
Easy.
I'll be your Paul's backpack.
Thesis, we're staying within 10 feet of you on when there's ever a dragon round. Okay, it might be a bit of an issue with flame breath, but minor technicality.
Yeah, I could definitely be a backpack.
So do you get? Are you able to give us bonuses to saves as well?
Yeah, that's you
Aura
add his
of
charisma.
Courage is just you can't be frightened as long as you're within 10 feet of me.
Which paladin are you?
Vengeance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I
So
have
just-
resistance to disease and frightened.
Aura of Protection is 6th level paladin. Everyone gets a bonus to any saving throws equal to his charisma mod. As long as they're
Yeah,
in
so
10
what's your
feet. So he has 2 different auras.
Yeah. I can do.
So what's your charisma?
My charisma is plus 11.
No.
Charisma's 16.
16. So you basically, anyone within 10 feet of you are immune to fear and get +3 on every saving throw.
Ah, okay.
Because paladins rock. Don't they, Tim?
Yeah. Oh, did Zeus just level up? Yeah. Look, you're still 13. Proceed out.
Wait,
Love you.
I'm still
Don't worry.
13?
Huh?
I'm
Yeah.
still 13.
You're still 13. This next scenario is your guys's. This next scenario is your guys's catch up. Sorry, didn't mean to just burst your bubble there.
Oh, he stole a level from you then. I see that.
You still have Aura of Courage, Dad. It's a 10th level thing.
Aw.
I thought I
My
was
dad,
18
I'm Jesus.
for class 36, but
Stay in character.
Maybe
Broke
they're
the fourth
related.
wall.
You know, it's kind of. I just realized you had that when we were fighting that dragon.
I didn't know he had 1 hit point through that whole thing, and I hit everybody else. Man, that would have caused a massive problem if I would have smoked him coming
Hey,
out.
I had this. Tim, I had the same problem when we were fighting that beholder. I didn't realize he was on low hit points, or I would have literally have shredded the thing.
Yeah. All right. So before you guys leave, Jean lets you guys know that like within about a 10-day, the armies are going to depart from El Terrell. So he'll see you guys in El Terrell, is what he's kind of inferring. Leosin and Daylan Winterhound are going to walk you guys out of the village. Or out of the city, mega city that is Waterdeep. You guys see, lots of refugees in town, in the city, as you guys walk out the northern gate. Is everybody all heading out? Anybody need to pick up anything? There's really not a lot left in Waterdeep. The place has been picked clean from, probably 50, 60,000 soldiers, coming through the area. Tens of thousands.
Is it worth, obviously, the Gilmore's saying that he was still looking out for some stuff for us?
Oh, Leoson's like, I can run to Gilmore's. I can have someone run to Gilmore's and catch up with you.
Yeah.
You have a package
Yeah,
there?
obviously. Yeah, well, we've asked him to find out if there's anything around that could help us with Dragon Fear.
Okay. Yeah, as you're walking up, Gilmore meets you guys at the bottom of the palace. He couldn't get in, and he hands you a scroll that I'll describe to you later.
Hey, before we step, I would like to talk to not Mariel, Harper's gal.
Right.
What word of
Awesome.
what word of our
Remelia.
Yeah, Remelia.
She's like, I'm not sure, but I'll scry and I'll let you know in Elturel. She's like, I'll keep, she's like, I can't, she's like, most of her forces are focused on the Well of Dragons. She's like, but if you want me to pull some resources, I can go check on them.
It's not dire necessary, but I'd like to know if Paige is okay and everybody else.
Okay. She's like, hang on one second. And she talks to McCath, and McCath's like, yeah, I can do that. And McCath kind of sits there for a moment, and you see her, warg out a little bit, and Remelia is describing, Paige in detail, and describes like a holy symbol that he has, and she scries, and she's like, oh, whew. She comes back out of it. She's like, whoa. They were at a base of a windswept, snowy mountain, and they were trekking up. I saw a dwarf with a blackish beard with icicles. I saw a woman, and she's got half of her head shaved, and a very, very well dressed goblin. But they looked like they were walking up a steep mountain. But there was 5 or 6 people, but they're still alive. You're muted, but I think I saw huzzah.
Yeah, huzzah. You can do it.
But they were at a base. She describes them at a base of like a mountain, chomping through snow and like heading, from your mind, like you told them to go talk to giants. That looked like a place where they were heading towards giants, but they looked pretty miserable from where they were at. But they didn't look like they were beaten or bruised or anything. But they were on the trail.
Wonder if there's anything that can be sent to them to guide them. What do you guys think? Any of you godly types?
Prophetic words, Namaste, prophetic words.
Sending. She's like, prophetic words, Namaste, prophetic words. It heads off.
And yeah, if they're doing okay. My only curiosity would be, has any of our plan failed yet?
Okay.
Was Henry just speaking then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're missing him again.
Yeah.
What's going on? Wait.
Henry just said he's getting drunk. It's fine. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
We'll parrot fashion it to you if it just in case he says anything.
No. Can you hear me now, Cliff?
Yeah.
We're getting short on my allotted times that I told you guys, so I want to kind of stay on one last thing. So you guys are walking out.
Question: as we're going towards this outside towards the Thayan enclave, obviously
Yep.
we know a little bit about Thayans. We've not a huge amount. Is
Okay.
there, whilst
Yeah,
we're walking
Leo's-
down there, is
Yeah, Leosin's about to give you the last kind of like debrief thing.
cool. I just want to make sure we don't. I have a habit of upsetting people by putting my mouth in the wrong place, and the words may come out when I shouldn't be thinking about it. So, what shouldn't I
Yes.
be saying to these people?
Exactly. And she looks straight at Belgar, right? Or he, Liam Neeson, looks straight at Belgar, and he's like, "Look, oh, I think I actually wrote this out. Me. Oh, okay. So yeah, he's without a doubt, Thayans are elitists. Very important that you don't insult them. Do not call them Dave, Steve, Rick, or whatever, right? So when you speak to whoever this is, full title, right? Like, just, he's like, do what you want. He's like, do what you guys want, but please, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. He's like, you've got to realize that there are a lot of powerful spellcasters where you're going. So lying, cheating, stealing, influencing, it's going to be pretty obvious. It's just like speaking with Lady Lariel, but on a different side of things. And he looks at Foz. He's like, Foz, Henry, Asa, they are evil. For the sake of Faerun, let's cripple the Thayans, make them cripple themselves. So, if things get weird, we have been promised that you will be returned to us. He kind of looks at you like, good luck. But other than that, he's like, I've never been to Thay. I've only seen the outsides of it, and I can tell you that it's full of paranoia. It's political intrigue. Zaztam is a super arch-lich that they all work for. He's got these other kind of lich folks called Zalkirs or some shit like that are around him. He's got like 10 of them. And he's got these Tharkrions that are the governors of regions of Thay. And they're pretty powerful people. And they are surrounded by loads of of Thayans. So I don't want to say be on your best behavior, but if this is gonna work, you're gonna have to lesser of two evils this thing one more time.
Can I have a gag, please?
A gag.
He's
Sounds
like,
good.
and you guys walk up, and there's the cottage that Asa and I can't remember who else went, but Daylan's like, he just kind of points and he's like, the ambassador that's in there's name is was it Naim Illich? Searching.
As he says his name, I'll sort of go, does he have some hoity-floity title as well that we're supposed to use?
No, just Nim Illich. This guy doesn't.
It's not Nimilich the third of this, and I must bow 6 times.
No, but you'll know when that when that happens. He's like keep in mind the Thakrion, who's probably speaking on behalf of Zaztam. They're a king, they're a governess in their own right. So keep that in mind. Like this is the time to be on your best behavior when you get there. If they address somebody as something,
I turn to
you should
Foz.
probably address. Yeah.
I turn to Foz and say, these sound like they're like high elves on steroids.
Yeah. Oh, and then
Sounds like a
also,
joy.
he's like, he lets Henry know, and he's like, Henry, clerics, paladins, necromancy is king out there. You're gonna see a lot of undead. Okay, just be they're normal people out there. Some of the undead, they're they're voters. Okay, just just can't go turn all undead out there. That's not chill. This is the upside down out there. Anyways, and they kind of point at the cabin. He's like, "Bon voyage." There's a wooden gate, and it opens up into a path to a cabin.
Well, Manu, you always like to go first.
I would. I think that Manu should probably stay back with you, Connor, if you're opting out of the conversation.
Oh, I want him in front of me.
Who's going first to greet
go.
whatever's beyond the door?
I'll go first.
Okay. You walk up, the door is there. It's slightly ajar. No light on the inside.
I'll just pull the door.
Okay. Yep. Manu, you see an individual with a red hood, with a hood sitting behind a table, just kind of sitting like this. And when Foz walks up, stands up. The room's empty. Just a table with a bed and a fireplace and like a kitchen with a pot.
Ambassador Enemlich, we are the Duchy of Skyreach, and we are here to seek counsel with the Fae.
Safe with me.
Sorry.
You're completely safe with me. You must trust me. He says, it's like, oh, you're fucking with me. All right, so yeah.
No,
so,
seriously, your mic was cutting out.
Oh, sorry. He gives an incantation, and the floor, like a green necrotic flame. He's like, please, join us with me.
Join hands.
Okay, everybody kind of walks in. You guys are like, yeah. And the green flames kind of jet up around him while you're inside this room. And once again, like you feel the pressure of the force and the wind around you, and it stops. You're holding his like bony, long, elongated hands. He's got white paste. He's got like this tattoo that like gets over top of his, like you can see it underneath his hood that he's bald with this weird tattoo. Uh, the wind from the arcane energy ceases, and before you are in this like isolated, windswept plain and plateau, like very dark clouds where you can tell that there's like sunlight trying to push through. It reminds you of a bit of like a Barovia kind of sense, but it's like once again, and this is getting cliche, dark volcanic ash, above your head. It's overwhelming the amount of volcanoes apparently in Faerun of late. But anyways, so this dark volcanic ash above your head, and you stand inside this walled city that's the 60-foot walls, these black, like dark walls with these like spiraling towers, and in the center of this huge, tall, 100, 200-foot like black tower that just like goes straight up into the clouds. It doesn't have any windows whatsoever. It's got like a door before you, and he's just like, please, masters. And he kind of points like ahead of him.
I'll go ahead and step forward.
He's like, welcome to Netherwatch Keep, the domain of Thakrian Eseldrayath. I will take you to her. And
Oh.
he begins to walk forward. Whoop,
Sorry, what
go
was
ahead.
that? What was that name? What was that name again? I missed it.
Thackryon Eseldra. Yes, that's her full title. Thackryon or Tharkryon Eseldra. Yes, if you f it up and call it Flandrin, you know what I mean. As long as you're trying, we'll call it okay-ish. You do get the sense that sarcasm and things like that would not bode well to this kind of meeting. You do see things like you do see skeletons in like groups of 6, kind of like marching around this open keep area as they bring you into this Valkyrion Yeth with a lisp. All right, Nick. All right, so you guys, they bring you into this like it's a really, really, breathtaking but yet dark keep. Uh, there are some lanterns that are lit with fire, and there are some that have like got these orbs, and they've got a greenish energy inside them that kind of light as you get closer to them. You're walking down the hallways, and there are just like Foz. You'll kind of like look to your right, and you can see like wizards in these red cloaks summoning on these circles. Like you'll see like a spinal cord like stand up and then kind of like fall as if they're like clearly practicing necromancy like all over the place around you. Uh, give me 3 seconds to set up our final map. Okay.
Yep. There's squares on it, guys. Get ready.
So it is clear they have a lisp,
Yeah.
these people.
They're like, what do you mean
The,
these people?
the problem you have with this, as you see, is if they don't like sarcasm, I'm British. That's you can't take that away.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. You did call, was it, what's her name? You just called what's her name out. So I think you're on like
Yeah.
talk paper for a few minutes.
I know. I just
But well done. I love it.
it needed to be said.
One moment, please.
If the Thayans have a lisp, is it actually Seiyu?
I dare you to say that to her or him or them or whatever they are. Not
Is
yet.
that what it says?
Yes.
Well, it's like a Schrodinger's cat kind of thing, where it could be a th or it could be a s. You just don't know because they have lisps.
And which one do you want to upset by saying it wrong? Are you
Yeah.
actually, when you repeat it back though, are you taking the piss out of them, pretending to have a lisp? That's going to be the problem.
Tim, I've ruined names for you, haven't I?
Yes, sir.
It's like that classic person when somebody's got a lisp, you can't actually, and you catch yourself, and you got like, no, I can't do that because that's obviously taking the piss out of it.
Like what?
God, look, we got lights and everything on this one.
Are you gonna turn out the garage lights, Tim?
Sure.
Dude, that's sick. I love it. Ho ho ho!
That's some next level dungeoneering going on there.
All right, I'll put as many of you guys as I can in there. Yeah, it's Weekend Dak. Good morning, Mom. Look at our camera. Okay. So she leads you forward. Actually, I should do this with the lights out more often. Kinda tight. All right. So
Yep.
okay.
That was Foz. He didn't want you to talk.
Leads you down like probably a 100, 200 foot like hallway. Uh, that seems to run along the entire, this has got to be as long or as the radius of this tower itself. As you've climbed these really, really large winding staircase that that just like leaves a pit in the center of this tower. It climbs, it climbs. There's this greenish aura. You get up to the top of this long room, and Nim Illich basically describes to you that your audience is ready, but being very gracious towards you guys as having been selected as an ambassador for Zaz Tam and Thakrion Eseldra Yeth. Uh, Leosin handed you off like a piece of paper that makes you like warranted for the Lord's Alliance, and uh, Nim asks you to wait a moment as she walks up to this large double doors. You'll notice in the hallway that it's like completely dark. There's no light in the hallway. She knocks a few times on these doors, and these two tall skeletons open up the door, and you look inside, and all you see is just like this green emanating, and you can see lots of like humanoids or whatever in there, kind of waiting for you. As you look into the door, as it opens up, you see this like very large specter over top of a summoning circle, just floating there, kind of frozen, as if they were in the middle of casting something, or they're somehow playing with this undead spirit. Beyond this specter, you can see like a very ornate, very tall woman with a bald head and like this weird, it's not a headdress, but it's just like this weird large collar behind her. She's carrying this like very large, like a long sword as well, which is kind of different for what you'd expect for potentially a spellcaster. Uh, and you guys, you hear, in the distance, like, let them enter. And you guys, are kind of ushered in. To your left and right, you see these 6 to 8 red, cloaked wizards along the walls. You see what you've seen before, which are two whites. Uh, Careful, they're racist. Uh, I always use that. Anyways, standing to her left and right. As you guys like walk up, you see like this hunched over like ghoul with a long tongue. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a ghast before, but it's like and it's like carrying a tray with like various like empty goblets. Like it's kind of like a butler and kind of just like looks at you like who cares? Like it's a just normally like lives here. And this undead creature kind of walks by with like a tray as it was like serving, drinks to whoever this was. Nim Illich walks into the room and she's like, Duchy of Skyreach, you are now in the presence of Thakrion Iseldra Yeth. You guys walk in, and before you can really say anything, she stands up. She's like, I am Thakrion Iseldra Yeth. You see her like lick this long incisor, which you kind of realize that she's a vampire. Have seen your party have seen them pretty often, or at least when you guys did the Barovian stint. She looks directly at you, Connor. We find ourselves bound in common cause against common enemies. Those who sought to destroy us in ages past now seek to destroy you. Our thirst for vengeance is strong, as is your thirst for continued life. Our enemy has become your enemy. Now, we know their weaknesses and the ways of destroying them forever, without destroying their usefulness. You have the opportunity to discover their hiding places in your struggle against their cult allies. Together, we can remove them as a threat to both of us. Our agent, Nim Illich, will return with you to your city of Waterdeep, there to serve as our liaison to your council. What you learn of the enemy, she will relay to us by our own means. You need only find the enemy. We will deal with them in our custom. I am authorized by our eternal master Zaztam. And they all shout the name or, they're under their breath. Eternal master. To say these things, for I act in his name. If we can come to an agreement. She looks straight at you, Henry. What do you know of Rath Modar?
I'm going to look left, look right, and insight check. Well, no, we've already talked about this. These guys are going to see through any kind of jackasseries.
You can get the sense that a few of them are already like holding incantations. Like there's enough wizards in there where in terms of concentration spells, there's probably several going on at once.
Okay. I'm going to spill it as it is through my eyes and my view. Not necessarily withholding details, but speaking in a, be brief, be bright, be gone mentality. Does that make sense?
Yep. And you can still roll perception and insight. So you can read things. Are you casting something, right? So you can make a perception check. That's on you. As long as you're like, hey, detect magic. You know what I mean? Like that probably would get counterspelled in a heartbeat.
Right. No, I'm just trying to get a feel for the room.
The feel for the room is this is they probably have a lot of rank and structure. The word that your next words are probably being carefully checked. And they're going straight for like what looks like to be the holiest of holy men in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see what
Dirty 18 was my roll, and like
Yeah.
I said, I'm not trying to deceive or anything like that. Just tell them how it is.
Yep, I would. This is your chance to, as an ambassador to the Lord's Alliance, to give your best. Make sure. Just don't forget to show your respect as you know what I mean. Like as you send it, or Or don't. It's your agency. You're
Sorry,
muted.
I'm slightly brain fried, so I will give my
That's okay.
Henry's smarter than Nick, so
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
showing the agency of respect to
Okay.
Thackryon, Estella, Gith. I'll pass. Again, the whole history of what we know, Rathmodar, word for word, simple, plain English.
Okay. Yep. So you addressed her as Thackryon, that sort of thing. Okay. All right. She kind of sits back. She's like, looks over at Cliff. And you?
So long as the realm is in one piece.
He looks at uh, Cliff and what do you know of the ritual of the rise of Tiamat?
Very little. I'm mostly following my captain here, as well as the rest of this group.
A
You seem
red
to be
wizard in the background goes, very little Thackryon.
very little Thackryon SLDF.
She looks over at Foz. She glances down at your hilt. So few of us now. Where is Sandersil?
Sandersil crossed us once, and we had to defend ourselves.
Very well, I think we have an accord. We must get rid of this Thayan resurrection. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Mucinex. Give me some Mucinex in here. Ah. She looks down at the rest of them. She's like, Nim, I think it's time that you take them to their chambers. We can discuss this further in the morning during our feast. Two chambers open up behind her. These gates. And the two whites stand aside. And they walk over to one of the gates. And they put out your hands, and they're like, and Nim looks at you. She's like, trust me, you're very safe. I think you will find your rooms very luxurious. And she begins to like usher you guys forward. Thackryon Seldritz looks at you, Zesis, and she's like, I will see you in the morning. Okay, thumbs up. Thumbs up, Thackryon? Okay, anyways, you guys move forward, and you do find that your rooms, you go down the hallway for a little bit farther. It's very dark. It's very, but then you continue on, and a light kind of appears. And it's white light, normal candlelights, candelabras, and things like that. Uh, and there is a chamber where your guys' rooms are all set up, and it is very like normal. It's not necromancy or anything like that. They did a very good job of making you feel at home. You guys then break off into your individual rooms and you take off your, Foz, you get ready for bed, you kind of sit down, uh, you relax and you kind of feel pretty comfortable. The room only had like one entrance. There were two skeletons standing outside holding guard, and you're like, yeah, okay, like sure, but they were keeping other skeletons out. Every once in a while, like a skeleton will come up with like, food and then kind of leave. And if you felt uncomfortable, they'll leave you. Uh, but you guys all kind of settle down for the evening. And
Is there a
Connor,
door? Is there a door to the rooms?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Is it lockable?
Yes.
Okay. I lock it. I then use
Okay.
my thief's tools to make sure it's only openable when I want it to be open.
Okay. All right.
And
You
I
lock
put
it.
something by the
Yeah,
and I
you
put
you
like a
definitely
chair in
know
front
you're
of the
in a
back
nice
door.
place, but like you definitely hear every once in a while like something terrible, and you're like, well, okay. It's like your first time sleeping in a really bad, neighborhood. So
There's no, and
you,
I'll look around. There's no other entrances to this room anywhere. Could do an investigation check just to be paranoid.
yep, go ahead.
29.
Yeah, you check. There's not a window. There's, you know what I mean? It's a sealed inside this place. Now, are you? It's not a cell per se, but like you check very well. There's only that one door. The door opens into a circular room where you guys can all come out, but you guys are close to your friends, but you guys have your own individual rooms. And in the
Perfect.
center of the
Foz.
room outside are like drinks and things like that, and like a table.
Real quick,
Foz.
from when we were up on fighting the dragon outside, when that portal opened and sucked everybody up,
Okay.
does that magic look? Would that magic look familiar to anything going
You're in
on
a
here?
you're in a normal room. You're using your true sight. You're looking around.
Well,
It's a room.
like anything that we've seen within the
No
Thayan
illusions.
world, like none
Yep.
of that
Nope.
looks
You've not seen an illusion yet.
okay.
Foz,
All right.
question for you. Do we want to sleep in individual rooms, or do we want to sleep in the central area with all of us in together so we can see each other?
I think that we need to just go with the flow on this. We need to essentially take their version of hospitality.
Yeah, I trust your wise words. It just doesn't.
Oh,
This fine.
trust me, I'm sleeping on top of the sun sword.
Ow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice and
Ow.
warm.
I'm only meditating for 4 hours, and then I've got my crossbow aimed at the door for the rest of it.
So, Connor, you do try to. You guys are able to sleep, but you happen to be in close proximity with Manu. They're like, hey, we got a room down the hallway if you don't mind. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but you
Manu,
guys work it out.
get lost, Manu. Get lost, Manu.
Yeah. Uh,
Can I just
so
ruminate on myself for a minute? Yeah.
you go to your individual rooms, and O'Connor, you finally find yourself, everybody, find yourself kind of relaxing and falling asleep. And Connor, as soon as you close your eyes open up, and like above you, just like at the end of the bed, a Thayan is just standing there, pale white, with like, two lines going straight to where their eyebrows would be. And you just see him, we have more questions for you. And then we'll pick it
Shoot
up
him
there
with my.
at the
I
next
shoot him
time.
with my.
You try to shoot just as you make a roll. But yeah. And we'll pick it up on that roll
Oh
next.
boy.
Oof.
Hey, look! If you wake someone up like that, I'm sorry. There's gonna be.
You feel awake-ish. You're not necessarily awake. But yeah, we'll see. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.
Good session, guys.
Thanks for hanging in.
Thanks everybody in the chat for joining us. If you're new to the channel, please follow us. We do two campaigns, Rise of Tiamat and Witcher. And check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. At Stronghold D&D. I'll leave it to anybody else.
That's it. I'm out of words.
Cool.
Thanks, Tim, for the awesome effort.
Have a good one. We'll see you next time, everybody.
See you guys.
Mom's making dinner. I can smell it.
Bye.